Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Make It a Double Double. It feels like we don't leave you at the minute. It feels like it's every other day. We've just got this content churning out for you. And we seem to be stepping it up more than ever because this week, got the king of Scottish content, would you say? The first and only person who's ever recorded a live podcast at Sorare Sevens is Quinny. How are we, pal?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having us on. It's been a long time in the making. I think we've scheduled this about 3 or 4 times over the last couple of months. So buzzing to actually get together and make it a double.
You were supposed to be the first one of the year, weren't you? But you were a poorly boy, so we luckily we've managed to get you back on. But it's Sunday night. Aaron's probably gasping. We need to give him his fix. So what drinks are we ordering this week from the Sorare Saloon?
Before you say gasping, by the way, this is probably the least favourite one I have ever been had to bring on today. This is inhumane is the only way I can describe it, I think, for a Sunday evening.
So I was always going to bring tequila on this one because it's make it a double, and I've just got the logo, I've just got all the imagery of the podcast firmly in my head when I'm thinking what to bring to the party, you know. So I've got a wee bit of tequila with me. I'll have a double, so I'll have 4 little shots with us tonight, and I'll be get a taxi up the road for me. And when I get asked for the non-alcoholic drink, I thought, I know you guys are going to suffer if you're going to be taking the tequila as well. So I kind of let one of these off the hook. So I got him in for. Will I say it, or do you want to say it?
You can say it.
We went with beetroot juice.
So I'm gonna be a massive letdown. I did have a problem with this because let me tell you when Mark told me. When did he tell me that I was getting a beetroot juice?
About lunchtime today.
It was lunchtime today. Yeah.
So it was 11:47, and I've been out of the house since 11:30. So I genuinely haven't had a chance to get a beetroot juice. So I went with the one that he told me originally when we were supposed to have you on. So I went with Iron Brew. Right, so I've bottled it. I have bottled it, but I've been at the cinema watching films.
Put it on the tab.
Okay. So I will try and get a shot of beetroot juice for next week, and I'll do it. In post. I'll do it in post so that because tequila is the worst drink on earth. So you're right. If you've got to suffer, then I've got to suffer. But how are you feeling about tequila, Mark?
You're not the only one that's moderately let down.
Ooh.
So tequila's probably one of the only spirits that I don't have here in my cupboard. So I went to Tesco.
No wonder Quinny didn't want to come on here. This is disgusting behaviour.
No. In fairness, right. I went to Tesco today, search around the aisles, right? Typically, all of the reasonably priced tequilas weren't on the shelf, right? The cheapest tequila was 24 quid, I think. 22 quid, 24 quid.
You were eating lamb's leg last week, mate. I think you can afford it.
Not even lambs. It was whole weird grass-fed duck last week.
Mate, Laird cost me 16 quid on Wednesday with the vodka because I didn't have that either, right? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll get a tequila-based cocktail.
I can live with that.
Yeah, that's decent enough.
Tequila-based cocktail. So I went around the corner, and sure enough, they had tequila-based cocktails, which traditionally is like a margarita. So I thought I'll get a few cans of margarita. So I picked up 2 cans of margarita, and then they had like 4 for 3, as they usually do. So I picked up a few more. Went around the corner, they then had
Fucking hell, just going around in a square here, mate. Fuck, I'm surprised you ever left.
They then had a pack of 10. They then had a pack of 10 cocktails for 10 quid.
Yeah,
the problem is, so the only problem I've got with that is that I've seen the way you get through drinks like that. So you might get through all 10 on tonight's podcast.
I mean, yeah.
What are you starting with?
I'm gonna go with the margaritas.
You're gonna start with the margarita
because it's tequila. I hope you're all right with that, Quinny.
Well,
that's always Quinny straight in.
I respect our guests. So I've gone out and got a full bottle of Passion
Toilet
fruit and
cleaner.
mango tequila. Never
Love
heard
it.
of it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Got a little hat
Neither
for
have
my
I.
mic at the same time if it stays there.
Love
interesting.
it. Love it.
Here we go.
And I've
Oh,
got to
that were a
admit,
good.
I've got
Go on,
to
Quinny.
admit, right? I don't like. I'm not a big drinker, but I'm like a person like if I'm drinking, like we're going to be drunk, kind of thing. And I heard Laird say last week, at the end of the show, he thought I'd have been bringing the Mad Dog into this one,
Yeah.
but Mad Dog's more like a pre-football drink if we're going to be getting drunk
Oh,
before
okay.
the football, or
Yeah.
maybe like a gig or a concert or something. It's like we're
So,
not
so
partying.
tequila's
Kind of
just
thing,
for when
or
you're trying to take it easy.
yeah, maybe like you're going out for dinner,
Yeah.
or it's a bit more kind of civilized. People, the setting where people would order whiskey. I'm going to try and say,
Yeah.
You're
where's
a
the
tequila.
tequila?
Okay. Okay.
Where's the good
Well,
stuff? And
I wasn't
cocktails.
going to
be
shot
brilliant.
it, but if you're doing one shot, Quinny, I'll do one with you.
Oh, there you go. But what I was going to say is the one thing I've learned as I've got older is like and again, I'm not a big drinker, so I can't profess to say this about a lot of spirits. But with tequila, if you spend more money on it, you will taste the difference very
Yeah.
quickly. Like very quickly. Like cheap tequila is like I can't even drink it. I hate it. Yeah, like that stuff, that Sierra stuff, and what's the other one called, Olmeca or something. Some of them are just like it's like flashbacks to childhood. And you're outside with vodka for the first time, and you pour too much vodka in rather than your juice, and
Yeah.
you don't mix it either. And then you drink
Asking
it.
someone to go into the shop for you to get it just because you're not even old enough to drink it at this point.
I remember back
I
when
was that guy. I was the guy
Yeah.
at 14 that was like 6 foot-ish or kind of height I'm at now, and could just go in and wing it.
I used to be a bigger drinker when I was 14, 15 than I am now. But I remember like back in the like White Lightning, people drinking Tesco value vodka. Like
Frosty Jacks.
That's a real Frosty Jacks. Yeah, Frosty Jacks is a classic. Lambrini, bit of Lambrusco.
You're a September birthday as well, aren't you, Adam?
I am a September
you're
birthday,
probably
mate.
like me, and you were the one. Your school year, you were the one that had to go in and buy all the beer because.
Oh, absolutely. Because I couldn't get away with fake ID because I were about 4 foot until I was 16, so I couldn't get away with that. But yeah, I was the one that like people used to come. Oh, can I borrow your ID? Can I borrow your ID?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember. For any police officers that might be listening, this is a long time ago, and it was my brother, and I forgot, and I'm sorry. I might have given a friend of mine my ID to just to look after it for me, He went to a festival in Wales. I got a phone call 6 months later, so he rang me at the end of the week and said, "I'm sorry, pal, I've lost it." So bought me like a replacement. I'm not asked. Get a phone call 6 months later off a random police force in Wales telling me that they found my ID at a car crash. And have I been in Wales recently? And I was like, I've never been to Wales in my life, mate. I've literally never been to Wales before. And he was like,
mate has, who else gave my ID to.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, what? I was like, not a bloody clue. I was like, I've lost it. I've got a new ID now, so I don't know where that's gone. So any kids, don't fucking lend anyone your ID.
Wouldn't it be an amazing full circle moment if it turned out to be the two 18-year-old lads that stole Harry Trade's Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Oh, man, that would have been unbelievable.
That's one for the regular listeners, isn't it? But anyway, cheers, boys.
Cheers, Quinny.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Quinny.
Go on.
I'm really
down the hatch,
guys.
Aaron. Down the hatch.
Cheers again, guys. I've got a wee pop noise for this one.
Oh yeah, good.
There you go.
Good. We've got Aaron.
That bottle you've got there is what I would drink in New Year's Eve, and it's actually quite a nice tequila, which is something I've never said before, but it actually is quite nice.
We had a good little ASMR open there, didn't we? I've got the screw top bottle. You had the screw top glass. Quinny with a pop. Mark with a can. Got it all.
4 shots, by the way.
Got it all, boys.
3. Maybe there's 4.
But Quinny, let's see. I told you, mate. You have got an issue. Honestly, you have actually got a full-on issue. Speaking of issues, Quinny, you strike me as a man who's got
cocktails, but you can put them away for fun.
You can mix them. You can have a can of that with your breakfast, and it won't touch you. To be honest,
I've only got 10
that is
to get
true.
through. So.
Oh God. Right, well, let's move on quickly from these drinks because I don't like talking about tequila. It brings back bad memories.
We'll just try not to do what we did last week, Mark. When we stopped recording, me and Mark were that half cut at the end of it that we stayed for an hour and just talked utter nonsense for ages because we were just pissed on a Wednesday evening talking to ourselves.
Well, Quinny,
That's when you know you've had a
let's.
good time making a podcast, you know.
Well,
Oh,
this is
aye.
it. Speaking of podcasts, you are obviously now a big, I'd say a big content creator, especially in the Sorare world.
Thanks.
But how did you come about Sorare? Where did your Sorare journey start?
I first found Sorare because I was. It's kind of how far back to go with this story because it's kind of one of those ones where it's a big thread. But
Take us back
basically,
to the
I had
beginning.
Okay, I'll try and keep it brief enough, but still because it could be like about 3 hours worth. But essentially, like I'd been playing Football Index, which a lot of you guys will probably know,
Mhm.
and my main kind of thing for Football Index was number one. I was trying to get myself off of doing betting, accumulators, in play stuff, and just being like overly frivolous with money in general. Like yeah, I was one of those people, and I still really am in a lot of ways. But when I get paid, I'm paid, you know, and I'm out. Then it's a it's an objective. As you get kids and stuff, you kind of need to grow up a bit and all the rest of it. But anyway, that was a kind of means to an end for me in a few different ways. You know, it was like, you know, I'm not throwing my money away and who scores a goal in the next 15 minutes or, you know, this, you know, a couple of wacky teams in different countries, accumulators and stuff like that, or whatever it might be. And I really loved that, and I kind of found Twitter through Football Index, and I found a wee bit of kind of like YouTube content through that as well. And no one I knew like messed about with it. Not a lot of my friends that I even engage with in football are like as deep end into football as I am. Like I'd again, this is just kind of really how far back to go with some of this stuff, but like I had a business when I was like 18 to 21, yada yada. When that kind of ended, I had a wee kind of, you know, life's too short moment in my early 20s, and I'd had a wee bit of money behind me, and I'd just put myself through my like coaching licenses, and just because I'm just
Nice.
mad for football, you know, and I was just like, I would just do this for fun, you know, like screw money, like I'm living to live, not living to work kind of stuff, you know. So anyway, I'm a really deep end football person, and then when I was kind of exposing myself to like other people getting really excited about this wee wonder kid in France that no one else actually that I know in real life care about, you know, and then you find all these other like-minded people and people that are just as mad for it as you are in different ways. Um, and then, like I say, you guys will be the exact same with this podcast. Like if you didn't do this podcast or whatever, like you don't have people in your life to like share things that you enjoy. It's really hard, you know, and it is quite a frustrating thing. So I ended up just doing screen record. I was also at the time I was working in home improvement still. I was working for a roofing company. So I was in my car a lot, going to different jobs and going to different places
Yeah.
and whatever. So I started making videos like doing screen record on my phone and just going through like Football Index. And I had like no money on Football Index, like £100 to £300, maybe peaked out at like £1,000 a couple of times. But I was like a regular depositor and a regular withdrawer. I was always like just stashing money up
Yeah.
and then spending it on something like whatever, fix my car or whatever, you know, life. And but I had all these great ideas. I was like, I could see this player, he's only 15p, or this guy's only this or this and that. And I know that guy's actually talented and that guy's going to kick on and da da da. But I never had like money to actually do it on
Yeah.
Football Index and like show it off and have the screenshots and like Don and all these other people had, you know, and like wave things about. So I was like, what I'll do is I'll make a little video of me saying, this guy's worth something now. And I promise not I promise, you know, not financial advice and all that crap, but like, I assume, you know, like this guy's he's going to kick on. He's the next big thing and yada yada. And then when it happens, I've got the testament. You know, I've got the proof.
Yeah.
I said it. See, look at me. I called it. I might not have bought the stuff, but I told you to buy it. You know, kind of thing. That was the kind of thing that got me going in that sense. And then for some of you guys that might have been around for that length of time, you'll kind of know kind of the ebbs and the flows and everything else that kind of happened thereafter. And with the content I was making at the time as well, like a lot of the stuff that was going wrong on that, I'd kind of seen the writing on the wall with, and I'd taken my money out of Football Index. I can't remember all the dates and everything like that, but let's say like 6 months before like everything was crazy.
Yeah, before it
you know what I
died.
mean?
Yeah.
And I went into Footstock for a bit of that.
Yeah.
Footstock did pretty well at the like it was good fun and it was really engaging and stuff through the first period of lockdown. I just remember lockdown and doing Footstock streams and stuff like that. And that was the first time I was like on camera and on a computer and stuff like that. And it was like I'm not just in my car or on my phone recording stuff, but I'm actually now like trying to like make this fun and like a bit of banter and stuff. And again, some of the stuff because of what I'd seen on Football Index. He kind of seen some of the writing on the wall on Footstock again. And again, all the time I'm making videos talking about what I see and what I think, so anyone that was there will kind of know me for that, I suppose. And then just as I was taking my money kind of out of Footstock and just thinking I'm not doing this again. Like I can't do this all over again kind of thing. The whole roller coaster that it was. I got a message from Hybe, who some people will know in the community,
Yeah.
and he was like that. This Cristiano Ronaldo card is just sold for $12,000. It's a unique. It's a one of one, and I remember getting the message, and I just responded to him saying, "I need to speak to you on the phone." And then he said, "I no bother." Like, he sent me his number and he's like, "Phone me Thursday or whatever, da da da." And then I left it a couple of days and I kind of tried to look at it, but I did not understand anything like at all. But I had a lot of interest in, if this is like really someone's cracked the code, as it were, then I'm in. Like, like I kind of know the good stuff. I know what works and how this can, and whatever. So Hybe was very generous enough to give me, like, I think we probably sat on the phone for about an hour or two. I just sat in my car, just like quizzing him, just asking him
Smart.
everything, doing what he was saying on my phone, like, where's the site? How do I sign in? What's ETH? What is this? And, like, and again, it's all still on my YouTube channel. So if you are ever bored or whatever, but you can go back like 3 years and you can see my first like Sorare videos. And if you look at the website, and I don't know if I have any screen recordings from my phone on the channel, there might be, I doubt it. But like honestly, it looks like the dodgiest thing in the world. If you know what I mean? Like it looks like, like see all the competition that's out there now for Sorare in this space. They all look 12 times better than what Sorare did when I found it. It did not look good at all in terms of cosmetically or anything like that. But the main thing that had me on it was like I didn't know a lot. I didn't know anything really about blockchain or ETH or Bitcoin or much of it, but I knew the kind of origin of all that stuff was like digitally proven stuff in terms of the money aspect of it. And when Hybe explained to me what NFTs were, straight away it just made absolute sense to me that these are like this is finally a way where you can own stuff on a computer and it actually means something, because I've played tons of games like everyone else has where like you fall in love with it, even when they bring out the next versions of it, you don't even buy them. You just stay with your version and you've got to create a character, or you've got a story mode going, or you've got a guy that's at level 5,000, or, it could maybe a football manager game or whatever, because this is a football based thing. But everyone gets attached to stuff. Everyone always wants to import and carry on what they're doing and progress their games. And when it comes to football as well, like cards, and again, I could go down a few rabbit holes about why the digital part of it I just think is massive. But like, when I got that explained to me that this is a digital way of proving like you own game stuff, I just thought like number one, that's going to work. Like no two ways about it. And when Sorare was like officially licensed, all the things are provable. There's only 100 cards, because the scarcity thing is what killed Football Index and was what killed Footstock. It was just the supply was just, no one knew anything about it. It could be absolutely anything, and there was no like transparency on any level. So it seemed to be like from the minute I found it, even though how crap it looked and how there was only Leon and Leverkusen and the Belgian league and maybe Juventus, and it must have been a Juventus because Ronaldo had been sold. That didn't matter, because I was just like, this is just a wee company, but they've got something wildly right straight away that everyone else has just thought about. They've been too busy counting their money and not worried about anything else until it's been too late, kind of thing. So that's how I found it. And because I'd been messing about with content that whole time anyway, just like looking for more people that are just mad about football, and like, again, if we're playing the same game or messing about with the same stuff, all the better. We can talk in the same language. It would just became dead easy for me to go, I just think this is brilliant. I don't see it doing anything but succeeding, and I'm just going to do my best to throw everything I can at this, because like I mentioned earlier, I've already had that kind of moment in my life where I was like, I'm going to live rather than live to work, kind of thing. Tried to do my football coaching or whatever. So like, I'm fully committed to, my life being as centered around football as humanly possible by any means necessary. So like, this is just, it just feels like a lot of things kind of tapped into each other, in terms of those wee balls that,
Am I right in saying that Hybe used to do a podcast with YNWA, like
did the
back in the day?
podcast, yeah. It was just called the Sorare Podcast. It's all still out there if you want to listen to it. It was probably not good to listen. Like, it's probably not aged well in terms of like, I'll just go and binge that, you know, kind of thing. But
Yeah,
That's the one
that's
thing with so rare content, isn't it? That you
yeah.
just can't. Like when Laird said he went back and listened to our stuff. I mean, we do it a little bit differently. 'Cause as much as we call ourselves a so rare podcast,
Yeah, it's just a
very,
chat.
it's very little so rare talk. But the amount of times that if you listen to someone's podcast, if you went back 3 weeks before, it's out of date.
Mm.
Like there's not much because it has to be so in the now that like if you've missed that opportunity, there's no point in even trying to create a video now on something that's already changed previously and stuff. So
Well, we said that, didn't we? We Laird, because obviously you had the whole thing with the Scotland, and we were like, oh, if only we had him on, like, because it would be like tonight if it was the week before.
yeah.
But we had to wait a week, and by that time, like everyone's kind of forgot
It wasn't
about
even a
it.
week, were it? It were Wednesday. So we
No,
only had to wait
yeah,
like 4 days, 5 days, and
yeah.
it still
But by that
seemed like
time,
maybe the boat had passed. But
Hoodwink had deleted his tweet, and everyone forgot about it. Fucking Hoodwink.
and it were 50% of our episode though.
Yeah, it were. He'd
I
bought
think anyone
props and
forgot about
everything.
I enjoyed
Oh,
it
no.
still. I didn't think it was out of date or anything. I thought the banter was good.
Oh, we
so-
were never going to not bring it up. We were always going to
I
bring
think
it
we
up.
got fortunate. He'd not really addressed it, had he? On like, as in on a
Yeah.
video platform or like, he'd done his tweets, he'd done his comments and that, but he'd not addressed it verbally himself. So it timed it quite well.
We couldn't not humour it.
No,
could we?
no.
Purely for
But,
his face. We've watched it back and stuff now.
I've gone bloody dark here. What's me think of?
You have it? Oh, it looks way better. Leave it like that.
Yeah, get fucked.
Even when I've watched it back and stuff now, his face every time something comes up is just a picture. It's like, I could have gone on any form of serious Sorare podcast this week, and the 1 week that I've caused outrage, I went on this one where all they're going to do is take the piss out of me.
I think my favourite part of that whole episode was right at the start when he said, "I've never been more nervous to be on a podcast." I was thinking
can
that
relate
is
to that.
brilliant. That's exactly what we wanted.
I can relate to that because, like, see coming on like this show and like see what you guys were mentioning basically about this podcast. It's the thing that I really like about it, and it's the same for like a lot of the podcast, like the actual Sorare podcasts I listen to. As often as as often as I listen to them all, it's all ones where it's like mates, it's like banter, it's like because like I just mentioned, that's the thing I love about content, and that's the thing that I want content for. It's like people that talk your language, and there's that you've got your own little in jokes and players that you've got banter around all the Burnley stuff and whatever it is, so but the very first time I did that was I went on the Sorare Odyssey once or twice. I don't know if you've ever listened to that show.
Yeah.
But I find them really funny and really, really clever because they put a lot of preparation into all the stuff they do. It's not as cheery as many other podcasts you're going to listen to, but the very first time I did that was the first time I did podcasts where it's like that kind of this kind of vibe where it's like a bit more chilled out, and it's not like come on with a topic and let's get 3 cards out and who's your goalkeeper and all that kind of stuff. So I totally get that. It's
the one for me. Did you boys see the video? Sorare Down Under.
Oh mate, that one makes it
There's some funny boys, man. There's some funny boys.
Man. Like that whole fucking news sketch that he did the other day.
Yeah. What would life be without Sorare?
Yeah, like if you've not seen it, you need to go and watch that. Cause I think I quoted it and put it's the best piece of Sorare content
100%. 100%.
It's fucking hilarious.
Well, speaking about the like the banter and like the social side of things, it's probably as good a week as ever to talk about it because we've had a hard launch of Sorare Rivals, and I tell you what, for the feeling over the last maybe month and a half, it feels like it's been quite negative. Like a lot of people complaining, like there doesn't seem to be many positives, and then Rivals has really come out. The engagement seems insane.
First of all, have you seen the guy who's number 1 in the world, by the way?
Yep, doesn't own a single card.
Doesn't have a single card on Sorare. Surely someone like that is now looking at it going, I'm pretty fucking good at this.
Like, you'd fucking think so, wouldn't you?
I can't even win an arena game when I sit there and plan it out and look at who I want to buy. This guy's never played the game in his life and he's top of the fucking world on it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what is interesting. So I've got a couple of friends. That's not the bit that's interesting. Not interested. And they have never been like interested in Sorare because they don't get the crypto side of it. They don't get the NFT side of it. They're more than happy just pissing about on FPL and not having to bother. And I sent my mate the reward box for what you win in Rivals, and it's the most interested he's ever been.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can literally just go head to head, me and you. You went to the arena. You don't have to buy anything. And he was like, yeah, sound. I'm in.
I think that's one of the reasons it seems to have, as much as it's now the soft launch, as whatever it's called, the beta was good for a couple of weeks, but then they had no incentive to play it because they were, not that rewards should be your only incentive because it is a free to play game, but
Yeah, but it's nice.
it now means that if you were playing with your mates, you're going to be more inclined to enter the games that you've never heard of, just a random Turkish game or an AFCON game that's coming on tomorrow and stuff like that. I'd have ignored all them in the beta because I was a bit like, I couldn't be arsed. I didn't want to send one of you boys, oh, do you fancy a Ivory Coast versus Ghana Rivals game? You'd be like, no, mate, I'm really not fucked. Whereas now you can be like, right, well, I may as well chuck an arena ticket in it because I'm on a 2-win streak, and if I win that, I get another Rivals box and blah, blah, blah. So it just keeps you involved, doesn't it?
You talk about these, like, what would normally be games that just don't interest you because either the quality's shit or you don't know the teams. I had a game yesterday that might be like the two lowest quality teams that I've ever been interested in.
I know where this is going, Aaron.
Huddersfield versus Plymouth. So Huddersfield versus Plymouth. I thought, hey, listen, I love Aaron. Let me just pick a full Huddersfield stack. So I did, and I thought, do you know what? Huddersfield haven't got many cards in the game. Plymouth haven't got many cards in the game. Let me jump in the arena because there's less chance of me getting fucked by someone with a full rare stack. Who did I match up against, Mark?
Me.
It was you.
Yeah. And I actually do have a limited Plymouth card, and it is a guy, Julio Pleguezello.
Oh, Pleguezello. They used to be at 20. Yeah.
Used to be at 20.
Oh well,
so
if you had a limited card, you must have beat me then. If you had a limited card.
No. So Julio sadly didn't play, so I had to remove him from my lineup. And unfortunately, the only person I didn't beat was you, who was my arena matchup. I even beat Aaron, who's a Huds fan.
You did.
I had 7 matchups, 7 wins. That's my second one where I've had a complete clean sweep. But
one thing I did get right though, I did say Morgan Whittaker would score, didn't I, before the game?
You did. But I also said that Sorba Thomas would do something, and whoever scored would score because Karoma.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, and this is probably something that you both might want to have a comment on, but I thought Plymouth were a bit hard done by with a goal, Aaron. Did you see the foul?
I don't think it were a foul. I think he got the ball first.
Well, the problem is, I only saw the highlights on ITV4, and they don't really go into that much detail.
Yeah, it only shows the angle from behind where it looks like he goes through back at player, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what we could do now is royally piss Adam off. And
I fucking knew it. I knew it as soon as you said Plymouth were hard done by. I knew where it was going, and you're a bastard for doing this because you know that I am still fucking fuming about Friday.
It's a foul. 110%. It's a foul.
I don't understand how it's not a foul.
I don't know who the striker was, but he looked over his shoulder. He looked over his shoulder to see where Trafford was, stopped him from jumping. It's a foul all day long.
The worst thing is,
but we don't care because it's against.
The worst thing is, from the other side, you can fuck off. Everybody in the group chat's got bloody rare Burnley players now, so you should all be fucking after it. From the other angle, on the other side of the pitch, you can literally see before he fouls Trafford, he's got a handful of Ekdal's shirt trying to pull it off his back. Then he looks behind him, turns around and just bumps into Trafford to get him before he can jump. I just... When someone... do you remember the Alisson one against City?
I was about to say that. Last time I saw our man here, Quinny, at the Etihad for City Liverpool, and Liverpool were extremely lucky.
That was the one.
Even I'll admit that. With who was it? Ake lent on Alisson?
Akanji.
Akanji, was it?
Yeah. Because I saw a couple of Burnley fans like quoting that one, and saying like, "How's this a foul?" and the one on Trafford's not. And the fact of the matter is, and you might not agree, you might completely disagree, because it's Burnley. That's why. That's why we didn't get that foul. We
I'd have
like
agreed with
listen.
you if you were playing a good team. You're against Luton,
So
mate.
yeah, but Luton have all of a sudden become fucking the darlings of the media because Tom Lockyer had a fucking heart attack on the pitch. All of a sudden, it's they've really come together as a team. Fuck off. They're like a fucking B-Tech version of Dyche's Burnley. I couldn't give a shit about Luton. It's a scruffy little town, it's a scruffy little football team. Get them all in the fucking bin. Hate them. Fucking hate them. Don't care.
So
Don't
you
care.
don't let football affect your attitude, though,
Harsh
do you?
truth,
You know,
Luton Town.
Oh, honestly, mate, I cannot. Well, I mean, you saw it because I lost it in the fucking group chat. I don't think I've ever experienced head loss like I did Friday night.
I disagree, because what episode were it, Mark, where he said, "I'm done with football, I'm never going
Yeah.
back"?
Oh, which one was that? When
Was
were
it the
that?
one where he left early and then they lost?
No,
Was
that
that
was
West
every other
Ham?
episode.
That might have been West Ham, you know.
I
No,
remember.
yeah,
I'm so glad you've brought this up, right? Because I was
Yeah.
listening to maybe this episode we're talking about. It was like before Christmas. I was on my
Yeah.
way to Newcastle, I'm sure. So that was Newcastle Man United. So it must have been like the weekend before that or something. And I heard you saying you always leave before the final whistle.
Yeah,
And you
100%.
defended it to the hill. And I was honestly, mate, I almost pulled over my car twice. Like, how can you leave all the time like 10 minutes early?
Do you want to know something? The second Luton scored on Friday, I left.
See, that's minging, because what
The
have you then
sec-
got
the
a 2-1 win?
Not happening. Second Luton scored, I'm gone.
That's
Oh,
Gone.
vile.
I told you,
It hurt.
head loss, mate. Head loss. I'm gone. Gone.
I don't know.
It's-
I don't know how
It was
you
a,
can
it was
do
a
that.
story you were telling me as well. Not me, you were on the podcast, obviously, but you were talking about you were winning or something like that, and then no, you were drawing, and then you
Yeah.
left and you missed the winning goal and stuff. I'm like, how?
No,
can,
and it was the other way. It
that
was
would
the other way
kill
around
me.
as well.
Like that
That-
would ruin my month, something like that. I would
That
be
West Ham
absolutely
game.
gutted.
That West
You know,
Ham
if I missed
game.
something like that.
That West Ham game, I left the 81st minute, and we were 1-0 up. Got beat 2-1. I think that was the week that was the ultimate head loss. And again, I'm going back to it. That's another week we got fucking robbed because we had a nailed on penalty turned down.
Yeah,
and
you did actually.
that would have been 2-0, completely different game. Nottingham Forest, we had a goal disallowed for literally no reason that would have put us 2-1 up and we would have won that game. Aston Villa got a penalty. I think it's because Aaron Ramsey looked in the same direction as their fella. That cost us a point. Bournemouth, we had a goal ruled out for offside, even though they drew the fucking lines and it said on the screen, onside. They changed their fucking mind and said it were offside. Baffled. That's another point. We have been robbed beyond belief of about 10 points this year. And it doesn't
You've
help
also
because
been pretty
we've been
shit.
shit. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. But the fact that we've been this shit and
Every team
still
gets robbed
should
as
be out, not like we have. You can't
Yeah, but
you
that-
can't
No,
point
but
out to me.
every team does the same. Every team does
Wolves
the same.
are
No.
the most robbed, and then maybe Burnley, but Wolves are definitely clear.
So
in
yeah,
front.
so
They've
Wolves have
robbed.
been absolutely fucked. I will agree that Wolves have been absolutely fucked. And I love that Gary O'Neill comes out and says every single week,
Yeah.
this is shit. Because did you see Company's interview afterwards?
Yeah. I was
There's
watching
no way.
that. I was like, he is desperate to just let himself go, isn't he?
Yeah,
But he doesn't want to lose
I
his
thought he
cool.
did well.
He's
He did
trying
well
to
to like
pure jam.
reserve himself, but he was
It's
still
worth
like,
the fine, man. Just fucking say it. It's worth the
Well,
fine you get for
he
calling
literally-
them out.
he said, he was like, what are we doing here? We have the same conversation every week. I'll get a letter saying, oh, we're sorry, a couple of letters in the newspaper, and then we'll just be on to the same again next week. We got done against Forest, we got done against Villa, we've been done today. And he just went off. And do you know, this is the last bit I'll say on it, I promise. The thing for me that tells you that we've been robbed is the fact that Luton's manager, who only saw it in real time, said they've got away with one. I'm not saying Luton didn't deserve it, because actually for large parts they outplayed us and we let them. But we should have won that game. They didn't create anything and we've been robbed. So
Right,
It's
well,
what it
that's
is.
Adam's counselling session over for this week.
We've not had a
Should we-
counselling session. We've not had a counselling session for a while, though, have we? Really? It
No, you had a
it feels
couple
like
of good games, and now you're back to being
Yeah.
shit.
You fuck off. You can fuck off. You drew against Plymouth.
Why do you think we get Andy's Man Club to donate to our thing?
Can I ask you a Sorare question? What do you think will happen with Muric? I think he'll go in the
I think he'll
January
move.
summer.
I think he'll move.
January summer.
I think I'd be surprised if he stays for January, especially now that we've no other cup games. So the only thing that he could play is the Prem, and Trafford doesn't deserve to be dropped at the minute. I was very much team let's play Muric at the start of the season, maybe even for the first 3 months. But Trafford looks a good keeper. He's got better at coming to claim. Like he's still got work to do. There's no doubt he does need to be stronger, but his shot stopping is fantastic, and I don't see Muric playing this season barring injury.
Is there a chance that if he stays till summer and you do get relegated, Trafford goes to Prem and Muric stays?
Potentially, but I could also see someone signing him. Like I can't think of a Prem team that need a 21-year-old goalkeeper.
I'd
Do you know
love
what I
Celtic to
mean?
sign him, personally.
Depends
You
who
are?
goes up.
I'd
I
love
thought
Celtic to sign him.
Joe Hart were a top talent.
Joe
Is there a
Hart
contract in the
stinks.
summer?
Now, what I will say, and this this might be controversial, I don't think you can afford him.
No, you're probably right there.
I don't think
That's
you can
not
afford because I
controversial
think
at all.
well, I don't want McBride to message me and tell me, oh, Celtic could buy
No.
Burnley as a
No.
town. Never mind. No.
Because
Um,
you would want probably like the thick end of 15 million for him. I would
we'd
imagine.
want more than that. We paid 20 for
Well,
him.
there you go.
We'd want more than that.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
and
Celtic
he's
aren't paying
now
that for a
got
keeper. There you go.
and now he's got a year's Prem experience behind him. Like I think the one thing we've got for us with that is he is going to be England's number one. Like there is no other keeper like up and coming alongside him. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Pickford is great for England now. I'm not saying it'll happen anytime soon, but that's
Is he
where
great
your
for England,
value
but-
is.
He is good for England. He's just a bit shit for
Is he?
Everton.
He's growing on me a bit, you know. I think he's had a really good season.
Yeah.
I think he's had a really good season.
Celtic signed someone today, didn't they? Nicholas
Nicholas
Kuhn,
Kuhn.
is it?
Yeah.
Nicholas Kuhn. And do you know what the crazy thing is about that? Stish won his super rare like a month ago on the
Did he
random.
really?
Yeah. So he had it up for sale, and I seen the link, and it rang a wee bell for me. And then somebody was like, Stish has got it up for sale. I was like, oh, so he does. I had to go and tell him. So you better take that down, buddy. It's going to be a busy week.
Should have picked it up.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that far now. I just got a Timo Werner a few days beforehand.
Nice.
He played today, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got an assist.
Just on debut.
Got an
Oh,
Got an
assist.
assist, yeah.
Debut.
Yeah, set up that second one.
Timo time.
I picked up 2 Nicholas Kuhns immediately. As soon as I seen like that it's like
Midfielders or forwards, because
almost.
he does have both.
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Not a lot of people have clocked that yet, by the way. He had
He's
Yeah,
fallen foul at this before, hasn't he?
He has fallen to this before.
There's not that many forwards, mate, so everyone is buying the mids. But
It
I'm
probably
not sure
is just the
I'm
mid,
not-
to be honest.
I've
Let's
not
have a
looked at it. And you won't really know until he plays.
Yeah, 2
But,
midfielders.
One of the favourite stories of the group, innit, Adam, that you put a
Yeah.
photo in of
Oh.
Hani Mukhtar into the group, and it was
So-
like new MLS forwards signed. You do know he's a mid ball.
And I was like, no, he's not. He's a forward. He plays up front. And then Atri was like, yeah, but his card's a midfielder. And it was literally, I was so confident that he was a forward, I didn't even look at it. I was just sending out these offers left, right, and centre, and I had a fucking £75 midfielder that I couldn't get into my team with no striker.
As if you paid £75 and now I'm looking to pick the rare up for 140. That's nuts.
I tell you what is mad. So I were looking, because I seen something about Luis Suarez today, because he's into Miami now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because I was looking, his limited card is like £40 now. And I remember buying, I think it was his rare before, when he said that he was retiring in Brazil for like a tenner. And I tried to find I was going through my transactions to try and find how much I eventually sold it for, because then he didn't go anywhere. Or it might have been when he went, because he did go back to Uruguay briefly. It was when he had a red X anyway. Yeah. And I was seeing some of the players that I'd like bought and sold. There was one, Miguel de la Fuente. Let me find him. So he is at Leganes. He's played 2 in the last 5, and his last sale was £31. I sold him for £285, like about 6 months ago. There were some absolutely mental prices knocking about. I couldn't believe it.
It's when a Quinny were on about it earlier, saying about how you actually own the cards and stuff like that. I think when it comes to prices, because the game's picked up so many users from it as from 2 or 3 years ago, people are so concerned about prices when they need to realize that you own that card. It's not valued at anything until you physically
No,
sell it.
it's
So
what
like,
you do it at.
I get why you've bought a card to flip maybe and it's gone down and you're like, fuck, everything's gone down or whatever. But if you've bought a card to use it, you bought it to use it. Like, it's like buying a house. You don't value your house until you're selling it. So it
No,
doesn't matter what it's worth until you've want to sell it. So I think
yeah,
the
exactly.
uproar on prices always pisses me off when that topic comes
So
up because too many people are too keen on just fucking getting rid when prices
I
are down.
wanted to get your boys' opinions on something. So AFCON at the minute, I invested in a full Burkina Faso stack and a full Morocco
Never.
stack. He literally said no one ever, but they play Mauritania on Tuesday, so we'll see. And a full Morocco stack. So I've just checked, and I can double my money on my Morocco stack. But in the next game week, I'm pretty sure that the only games are AFCON. For some reason, like Juventus, and then a couple of Turkish games. So yeah, so there's about 10 games in the next game week, and Morocco play Tanzania.
Oh,
Would
such a
you?
favourable fixture as well.
Would you? So let me tell you the players I've got. I've got Bono,
Well,
the keeper,
I
Aguerd.
think I think it comes down
Hold
to
on.
how much you've paid and what your return can be.
Well, this is it. So I think for the
What's your
full stack,
profit?
I've paid just over 20 quid for the stack.
Is that it?
Yeah, so I paid a tenner for Bono, 3 quid for En Nasiri, a fiver for Amrabat, a fiver for Aguerd. I can't remember who the other one is.
Mate, if you're only putting 20 quid into it, I'd just fucking run it. To make
It's
20
worth
quid
it,
back,
isn't
is
it?
it really worth it? If they ball out and get you a 500 plus score or
Well,
something crazy,
this is
you're
it.
making that 20 quid already.
I think I'm going to chuck it in All Star and just see how it goes.
You need to hit a tier 2, don't you?
What
Yeah,
about a
pretty
270
much.
play with something like that?
Well, this is what I was thinking. I think 'cause it does fit into 270. Let me have a look where it's at for.
Think of the rivals matches you're going to win.
Yeah, that's the big
Yeah.
one. That is the big one.
Coincidentally, I've just put a rivals team up for Ghana versus Cape Verde because Bebe is starting for Cape Verde and I've got his
Is it?
limited card. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll just
Love
run
it.
it. So I've just chucked myself in the arena for that game.
I'm in the arena for that as well because I got Andre Ayew, who's starting.
Oh, God, I hope I don't match you.
The only other one I was thinking of picking up Unahi, but is he still injured?
I honestly couldn't tell you, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I've not
I
looked
don't
into
know.
AFCON myself. I stopped chasing internationals a long time ago because
Yeah.
like
It's
with limiteds it's totally different, obviously, and I'm not really playing with limiteds too much these days, so
Yeah.
it's a totally different thing
That's
otherwise. But
That's what I was
yeah,
interested to know for you, Quinny. You know, with rivals, because obviously you are like the top end of the game, really, more so than like myself, who's
glad you
just
think
in
so.
limiteds. Just like just in terms of like I'm literally only limiteds, and like
Sure.
the Super 220 is like my focus for the month. How do you feel about like where does rivals rank for you in terms of like enticement? Like, are you bothered about it? Are you playing it?
Well, when I'm looking at some of the stuff when we were chatting about it earlier, like the leaderboards and all that kind of stuff, it does sadden me to not see myself anywhere near any of it. So maybe like I'm quite a competitive person with the game side of it. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I've kind of lost a few game spots, so I think it's a wee bit of picking your battles for me personally. But in terms of like the actual game or whatever, like if I'm watching a match anyway, like I'm definitely playing rivals as well. It's just like
Yeah.
another kind of veneer, another kind of layer of the game now for me. I think the number one thing that is when its favour, just when we were chatting about this earlier, I meant to say it, but like the whole fact that the app and the whole experience of just like
Yeah.
downloading the app and starting to
Yeah.
play the game is like it's a whole different world now. For Sorare, it's like a proper. It's like they've been saying to us for the last like 6 to 8 months, like they need everything in place and they're trying to get everything. It needs to be a full circle. They need to be able to get an app, put money on, play the game in 2 seconds,
Yeah.
get your team in for kickoff, do KYC, and obviously it's not KYC, but all this stuff has to be able to be done like super slick, super easy. and all the rest of it, and like the whole app part of it. Like you were talking about mates that might be interested in it now and stuff like that. As soon as the app thing came out, I just messaged all my mates that have never been interested in it, saying, "Oh, do us a favor, download this app. Just like, just see if they do. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. Who cares? Kind of thing." And a bunch of them just sent me back wee thumbs up, done and stuff like that, dead easy.
Nice.
And before I'd said to them stuff like, "Oh," whenever I'd been talking to them, like, "Oh, I've got a link, by the way, and like if you do fancy it, you'll get a free card if you buy 5 and da da da."
Yeah.
They'd never look at it or never thought about it or touched it or anything, but straight away just download an app, and it's people download apps all the time. It's easy peasy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think they announced today, didn't they? That I say announced. I think I saw someone quote a tweet that said there's a new system in place that they try and match people based based on the scarcity of the cards that they put in, because they didn't do that initially in the beta. So you'd put out a full common team and you'd match up against someone with supers and rares in the full thing. So they've now tried to at least match it up. So
the
that
ELO, I think it's
is that
called,
what it is? Yeah. So like with someone like Quinny, and you've got supers and rares, and that's stacked up to put out for a Celtic one. You kind of know that if you went and put a Celtic team out, you're not going to come up against you if you put in commons in it, but you might come up against someone else that's put rares and limiteds out and stuff, which is way better. But during the beta, it were if you had a stack of a team, you'd put them out, and you knew you weren't coming up against many people with those cards anyway, so you knew you were always going to win.
That's why I've tried to avoid. So like, I'll see someone challenge me, and I'm like, I know you have got the full rare collection of that team. There's not a fucking chance I am accepting this invite. There's no way.
I had the same thing today. They were a Turkish game, and the guy had a Galatasaray as his badge. He's like the actual Galatasaray
no
badge. I was like,
chance.
why would I accept that? You're basically saying, accept this so I can beat you. That is literally
that's what I've been doing. Like, I think the only games that I've invited people to are Burnley versus Luton, Everton versus Villa, and Burkina Faso versus Mauritania, because they're the full stacks I can put out. I've not invited anyone for anything else. I put a lineup out for Newcastle versus City and literally didn't ask anybody. I didn't challenge anybody. I didn't go in the arena. I was just like, oh, I wonder what score I'd get. That's literally all it was.
It's like in the beta when I accepted that request from Nanzo.
Yeah,
I had no idea why I did that. Why the hell would I do that?
Unique and super rare stack.
I know we spoke about it briefly. I think it was before we started recording. But what did you guys make of the launch of it in terms of PK and Nellis, Zidane, and is it Nacho, the other guy?
Yeah.
He plays so rare as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I liked it, I thought the quality was. I liked it.
I just think they're putting it out on places that have already seen Sorare as such, so you're not really advertising to a new audience, are you?
It's not
PK
like a TV advert.
No, he plays
kind of
Sorare. Nellis's followers know he plays Sorare. Nacho, all these people already know that what Sorare is. So don't get me wrong, if they've now signed in or signed up to play Rivals, then great. But you're not advertising to a new audience. You're not putting it out on a Premier League board, or you're not putting it out on a TV advert or YouTube ads and stuff like that. I think they need to still keep pushing it in more.
Preaching to the choir.
One thing I did find funny was that PK put out a little teaser tweet like a few days before the launch,
he did,
saying that he was like getting into management and like more news to follow soon. And then obviously he tweeted the thing about that, he was managing the team for Rivals and stuff.
Shark FC.
Yeah, that was it. And I read some of the comments, and there was like loads of Barcelona fans commenting saying, "Oh, he's teased us, he's played us. We thought he was actually getting into management and all this sort of stuff." Because I think one of his, like, isn't it Andorra FC is one of his logos and stuff as well. So I think like, does he?
He owns.
Yeah. So I think there's loads of people thought that he was actually becoming a real life manager.
He went to the Snoop Dogg School of Marketing, didn't he? That's what it was.
He is a real life manager, mate. Own your own game.
I seen all those responses. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I seen all those. He toyed with us for an ad and all that, and toyed with our emotions for an ad and that kind of vibe. But
he didn't even
Snoop Dogg
it
one
was an ad.
classic. Like I said, the Snoop Dogg one. The first thing I said was, "That's an advert." I promise you, that's an advert.
Snoop Dogg. That is the most unbelievable bit of marketing I think I might have ever seen in my life. Because I
knew it was an ad right away, man.
Did you really? But the amount of people I saw that like it had, I reckon, 95% of people who smoke weed questioning their entire life decisions. Like, I saw people on Twitter that were like, oh, well, if Snoop Dogg's not smoking anymore, then I'm not smoking anymore. Like, if the king of smoking don't do it, then there's obviously a reason to stop. And then it's a smokeless grill, mate. Chill out.
What was the woman called that was in that? What's she? Because there were a woman part of it as well, weren't there?
Is
And
that
What,
the
in
one
the...
with Martha Stewart?
Martha Stewart, that's it.
Well, they're like
Um,
besties, aren't they?
Yeah, she's fucking hilarious. She basically, her whole career is now just getting rinsed. That is like all she does.
Have you ever seen the Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're both on that, aren't they? Snoop
Yeah.
and Martha Stewart.
That is one of the best videos you'll watch because it's just there's some that are, I think sometimes when you watch a roast, some of the funniest bits are how shit people are as well. So like
Yeah,
they say something and you
100%.
can just everyone's ass is just like that is so bad.
But
Like
they
it's
had,
not even funny.
I don't know if it is the Justin Bieber one or if it's a different one, but they had that Ann Coulter on, and she's like
Oh my
a
god.
right-wing lunatic in America, and she just got, why she accepted that, I don't know, because she just got fucking annihilated
That's the
for
roast
like
of Rob
2
Lowe, isn't it?
hours.
Yeah, that's the Rob Lowe one. But there was what's it, Pete Davidson. He's on that one, and he
Oh,
says,
he's
and
a
he's like,
funny boy, man.
he's a funny bastard. So he turns around and like the way his mannerisms and the way he does stuff, he's like the way he acts as well. Like he's just hilarious. So he's like, if Ann Coulter's here, who's out there scaring the birds away from our crops? And like, it's such a shit joke, but the way he does it is fucking hilarious. I love that one.
He also says, what is it? Ann Coulter calls herself a polygamist,
Yeah.
but most people call her a cunt.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Nope.
Pete Davidson needs investigating because he is the Eric Maxim Chopu Moting of Hollywood. How the fuck he has got the dating resume that he has got?
The fact you can rattle Chupo Moting's full name off top of your head is actually weird shit, by the way.
What? That's his name. That's his name.
Tattoo says around his arm. Eric Chupo Moting.
Yeah, Eric Maxim Chopu Moting. It's got his stalk record on the other side as well.
No, I don't know if this is too far, but Jimmy Carr's roast that he did on Pete Davidson, I think, is one of the fucking worst.
He loves it. He loves it though. He loves it about his dad.
Yeah, and
he fucking loves it though.
This isn't the roast about Pete Davidson's dad. That was on 9/11.
September the 11th.
September 11th, because his dad was like a firefighter at 9/11 and he died within like August.
Yeah.
And it was like
he jokes about it all the time though.
Yeah,
he jokes about it all the time. Yeah.
But it's
well,
fucking brutal.
I'm gonna have to watch one of those roasts again tonight. I've not seen him for fucking ages. Because there's one, the Justin Bieber one. He's actually so funny because that's the one with there's a comedian on there who got cancelled, and I can't remember Chris D'Elia. Because I used to really like Chris D'Elia, but when he says something about Chris D'Elia's fans and like them being fans of Justin Bieber, his delivery is really good. It's really good. I enjoyed it. Speaking of good delivery, Mark, can you deliver Tenable as well as I can?
Tenable. We'll give it a go. Are you ready for this, Quinny?
Whoop, whoop.
Let's hear it.
Whoop, whoop. Are we doing a question each, Aaron?
Yeah. The thing is, right, every time it gets to this point of a fucking podcast, I just think this is where I just make a tit of myself. That's literally, that's all this section is for now.
So Quinny, if you said you listened to a bit of the Laird episode, if you got bored and turned off halfway through, you might have missed the Tenable, the amazing Tenable that Adam delivered last time.
You. The respect it deserves, finally.
Basically, there's two lists you'll go up against. Let's do Aaron first, then Adam. You alternate, give me an answer. You got 2 lives each. If you lose your lives, you're out. And it's top 10s, right? So,
what's he got for us?
For the first game, do you want Premier League scorers or I've forgotten what the other one is now.
I'm going to say, what's the next one, mate?
Do you want footballers and social media?
The first one.
Premier League scorers against Aaron.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this second question.
So the tenable list is: I want to know the top 10 Premier League goal scorers of all time.
Who's going
Okay.
first?
Premier League,
I'll-
that is, not
Yeah.
First Division, Premier League.
I'll let Quinny go first.
Go. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
Ready?
Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry.
We do one each. We go
One each.
one at a time.
You alternate, with Aaron.
And then if you get one wrong,
Thought we did
Yeah.
10 and then alternate. Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Okay. So
So-
Alan Shearer
Maybe
is number 1 with 260 goals.
If
Right.
Thierry Henry counts, I'll give it him because I don't think I'd have ever said Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
What number do you reckon Thierry Henry is?
7th.
What?
Correct, 7th.
Oh, fucking hell.
With
Yeah,
100, with
so-
110.
That's me done for tonight.
To level it up, I reckon Az has got to do 2 in a row.
Yeah. fair.
Yeah,
Wayne Rooney.
correct. 3rd with 208 goals.
See, I want to say Harry Kane because everyone were on about him breaking the record, so it must have been close. So I'm going to say Kane.
Harry Kane is 2nd,
Oh, yes.
213.
Okay.
Just one this time.
Yeah, just one this time.
Andy Cole.
4th with 187.
You should have saved that because I'd have never got that.
Just put the pressure on quickly. That's all.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 so far.
My issue
Nice.
is with these is that I remember like peak Premier League strikers, but it's if they were there long enough to get into the top 10. Because I'm gonna just say, how long were he in the Prem? Michael Owen. I don't even know how long he were in Prem for at Liverpool.
Michael Owen is incorrect.
Oh,
I can't tell you where he is on the list because I've only got the top 10 in front of me.
Adam, you better not be looking at footballers and social media whilst you...
I'm setting my rivals line up for Ghana versus Cape Verde.
I'm going to go with Wayne Rooney.
That's...
We've already said Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I think I said Wayne
Yeah,
Rooney.
you said Wayne Rooney.
Oh, did
yeah.
you? Oh, sorry. And Rooney's in the list. He was 7th then.
He was 3rd.
Third.
He was
So,
3rd. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Henry was 7th.
So Shearer's 1st, Kane was 2nd, Rooney 3rd, Andy Cole 4th, and then we said Henry, which is 7th.
Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler's number 8, correct,
shit.
on 163.
Thing is, if I get this wrong, I've lost again. Oh.
Only one player in the top 10 still plays in the Premier League.
Still plays in the Premier League.
I think I've got a good one. That,
Oh, so they must have been in the Prem for
said-
ages. I'm going to say one that is probably either laughable or if it's right, then you'll go, that's impressive to remember. But I feel like, no, I'm not going to say him actually. No, I'm not going to say him. Shit.
Is that a
This
risky
is
one?
Yeah, it was a risky one because he's not even a striker. But, you know what, I'm going to say it, Lampard.
yeah, as soon as you
Frank
said
Lampard is number 6.
that. Yeah, as soon as you said that.
107
that was-
goals.
Call. Well done.
So how many have you got
Well
left?
done.
So
There's
we've got
3 left.
3 left. So you got to get number 5, number 9, and number 10.
So you've still got 2 lives, Quinny. So if you get this wrong, I've still got to get one right.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah is correct. Number 10,
Number 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
nice.
153.
that's a good shout.
That was the clue. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? So plain.
Oh.
So
Still
Aaron's
got 2
got to
left.
get number 5 or number 9.
I think number 5. I think number 5's an easy one. You know.
Yeah, it is when you're a fucking idiot like you that remembers absolutely fucking everything.
Scored. Would
An
you say,
idiot
would
like
you
you
say, would you
remembers
say
everything.
arguably one of the most famous goals in Premier League history?
I think. Other than Harry Kane, he's the best striker in Premier League history.
Okay.
Now it's even worse if I get it wrong because you're going to assume that whatever I say I think is the second best striker in Premier League history.
Not necessarily. You can just say you're going for the other one.
I want to know Well, I'll say I want to know. You're not going to tell me. If he was at City long enough, I think Aguero would have been up there. But I don't think he were there long enough to score enough to get into top 10. Because he were only there about 5 seasons. So he needed fucking loads. That was what
Told you, mate. It's not even my quiz this week, so you really are getting nothing from me. You can't look at me for a response this time.
Aguero is a funny one, actually.
I'm going to stick with it, but I think it's wrong. I'm going to go Aguero.
So Sergio Aguero is correct.
Oh, shit.
He was fifth.
Second
Wow.
greatest striker in Premier League history.
I knew he was like right high for like goals per game for players that have got over 100 goals or something mad like that, or whatever.
I just didn't know if we were there long enough to get to the top 10.
Yeah, I wasn't. When you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not too sure myself because he didn't have that many full seasons to go and kick on like 30 goals or something crazy.
They were injured a lot as well.
Yeah,
He scored
My final
20 a
one is
year
gonna
against
be-
Newcastle, so.
My final one is going to be Luis Suarez.
Just
My final
number
one.
9 to get.
Suarez.
Suarez is incorrect.
Ooh, one life each. Ooh.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to lose because I can't even think of anyone else. Just a random fucking forward.
I think I know
Quite,
this one.
it's quite difficult to. It's not the easiest one to get.
I'm going to go with someone that's like... Oh, no, because you said not first division as well, didn't you?
I've got a guess at this, but I don't know if it's right.
I'm just
Wait
trying
till
to think
Aaron
of...
gives his because he's on his last life anyway.
I'll tell you what, Mark, let me message you. I won't put it in the group chat.
That would be cheating.
It's some shout, though, if this is right, you know.
I'm going to... I don't even know how long he were in Prem again, because I was going to say someone like Lineker or something, but I don't even feel like he played there that...
Is it?
Is it Lineker?
No, not you, Aaron.
Oh, you fucking nodded
Adam?
your head when I said Lineker.
No, Adam just texted me. He's got it right.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Right, okay.
Right, well, I'm out because I went Lineker.
Yeah. So
Can I guess?
you want to stab?
Aye, Ian Wright.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Right. So Quinny's won this round, but let's narrow it down to get the answer. He's a small
Proper.
Englishman.
Jermaine Defoe.
Correct.
It's Jermaine Defoe.
Fuck.
It's just, see, he's the opposite to Aguero, though. You know, you were saying like Aguero's not been there long
longevity.
enough. Defoe was
See,
there.
you said
for
it was a difficult one.
ages.
The first person that came into my head was Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah, that I don't think
That's not a million miles off, is it?
It's like, oh, so with somebody like him, but they probably played for like 3 or 4 teams. That was
Yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't think about, you know.
Well, I've took another loss.
See if Adam can redeem it for the podcast.
This is a tough one. I don't know where you're going with this one. So
the next category is I would like to know the top 10 most followed footballers on Instagram.
Oh, that's a good one. Is that?
do I get to go first? Because Quinny went first last time.
You little shit house.
The first 2 guesses are the same ones. It doesn't matter who gets first.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Go on then, Adam.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is first. Would you like
Sorry,
to guess?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. Would you like to guess how many followers he has?
650 million.
All right,
I mean,
Khaled.
that's
617 million.
Yeah,
is
tell you what,
it so close?
I'm taking that as my win for the week.
All right, Khaled.
Let's hope you don't fucking listen to this, man.
Oh, I love that he gets slandered for cheating on here.
Lionel Messi is number 2. Anyone want to guess how many followers?
412,000
No,
million.
You got the right hundreds.
oh, really?
497 million.
Jesus.
Right.
That'll be us next year, boys. That'll be us
you
next year.
I am going to go based on nationality. I think he'll have a lot of national following. I'll say Neymar.
Neymar's number 3 with
Ooh,
218 million.
I've got a feeling my guess is going to be number 4, Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe is number 4.
See, now-
111 million.
I feel like it gets tougher from here, though. So that's a big drop. That's a big drop to 111 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go for a bit of a punt, and I'll go Harry Kane.
Harry Kane is not on the list.
I'm going to say that's a bit of a weird one. He don't put much social out there.
So
I'm going to
after
eat your lunch. I'm going to eat your lunch, and I'm going to say Jack Grealish.
is not on the list.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
one thing I will say, because it's equal in terms of goes, is that there are 1, 2, 3, at least 3 of these guys are retired.
Ooh.
Retired.
Is the one I just text you right, Mark?
It is.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
Have you just texted him David Beckham?
Nope.
He hasn't
I'll go
texted
David
David Beckham, but David Beckham is number 5.
Okay.
Oh, we're still in order. We're still in order.
86 million followers.
I'm going to say if there's 3 retired players, one of them has to be Ronaldinho.
You're correct, but you've broken the chain.
That's good. That's practically a loss, isn't it? I think
Ronaldinho is number 7 with 75 million.
Is that one right, Mark, as well? Or is that wrong?
That's right.
Oh, mate, I'd be fucking well good at this one. Why?
have you been texting him? Have you been texting him retired ones or playing ones?
I'm not telling you.
Why does that matter?
I'm not hosting the quiz this week. You're not getting fuck all from me.
So you got.
I don't get
number
fuck all
6.
from you anyway. So you don't know any of them.
You got number 6, number 8, number 9, and number 10.
I feel like he's too recent. Is he too recent? Will he have a big following based on the fact that he's had a massive year?
I've sent you a bit of a rogue one, Mark. Is he not? No.
This is where it gets tough, isn't it? That's too much of a pun. I'm scared, you know. I'll go Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland is not on the
No,
list.
it can't
I
have
don't
him.
think so. It's too soon. I know.
Wow, we found Adam's weak spot.
Yeah, so it's Quinny got
I
to
don't
get
give a
this
shit
right.
about social. I delete it every 2 weeks, don't I? So
Call someone a cunt and then delete it.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to
Get
go
this
Mo
right.
Salah.
And it's
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah is on the list.
That's good. Yeah,
He is in
That's
number
good, that's good.
10th position with
that's
63 million.
both lists is fucking 10th.
Yeah.
Prick.
when you said
Quinny,
nationalities, Adam, I was like, that's the one that when you had the right idea with the fact that because of his nation and
Yeah.
stuff,
Well,
Salah
it's
is
like
the pinnacle of
biggest
Egypt and
African
stuff like that.
footballer, isn't he? Yeah. Who else is on there, Mark?
So you've got number 6.
I was going to say
is
Suarez, but I don't think he's on there.
Karim Benzema
Oh yeah, another good
with
one.
76 million.
Yeah, that's
followers.
fucking obvious.
Number 8 is Marcelo with 66
Yeah, again,
million.
Brazil.
Wow, I'd have never got that one.
And number 9 is Zlatan with 64 million.
Oh,
Zlatan and Salah are the ones I text him.
I can't
Do you know
believe there's
what's
not an English player outside of Beckham in that list.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
So annoying about
Bellingham or a Grealish or something.
Yeah,
So
other than Grealish,
Benzema-
there's not many personalities though, is there?
Yeah, that's true. Well, because I've seen Harry Kane like on social media, so I thought now that he's gone to Germany, maybe he's up there because like he does like a lot of sponsored stuff, and who knows. But I was like, oh, let me go back through Ballon d'Or winners, and the only one I was like, oh, Modric. I wonder if Modric had never even fucking thought of Benzema. That's so annoying. Never mind.
The one I got wrong texting Mark was Pele because I thought he might have been like one that had a massive following because people used to run his account for him, didn't they?
Dead, mate. So don't count.
You can still have a Twitter account if you're dead.
Nah, dead. Nah, dead. It's Instagram as well, so it don't matter.
His following count's dead as well.
Can't take any selfies on there, can you? Now can't just pop one from underneath.
You get no signal from 6 feet under the ground, mate.
Poor Pele.
This is our last episode of
What's the opposite of getting sponsored by someone? Because we've just had that
Cancelled.
from the entire nation of Brazil. I'll tell you what, Aaron. To bail me out even more and to make you look even worse, do you want to talk about Sorare darts?
So
let's talk about Sorare darts. So this again, just for everyone who has listened and hasn't listened, this was Aaron's idea. the entire premise of these games and the rules and being done by the time we record, it's all Aaron's idea. So who's picked this week, pal?
Demirbay. How do you pronounce it? Demirbay. How do you pronounce it? Demirbay.
Karim Demirbay.
Plays tomorrow night.
Yeah, he plays tomorrow night.
He plays tomorrow night.
2 out of the last 3 times that we've played the game, you've picked someone that plays after we've recorded.
Which means he gets a 0 on Sorare.
How did the other 2 players we did pick?
To be fair, unless he'd have got 100, we'd have been nowhere fucking near. We had Lyle Foster, 35.1.
Yeah, didn't do well.
And then, go on, I'll let you pronounce this one, Mark. You love saying it.
Sébastien Cibois.
I love that only Cibois. I love that only Cibois gets the French pronunciation, not Sébastien. Like I want the full thing, Sébastien Cibois.
That's a fucking good impression. That, to be fair.
Tu ne parles pas en français?
Who? Right.
No, thanks.
No.
I can't work out if you're just lying to look good or you actually know how to speak.
Something about a penis size because he went like that.
Oh, I said, do you not speak French? Not even a little bit.
Oh.
I don't trust you.
Hey, listen, some of us are bilingual, mate. It's just one of them, isn't it?
No.
Mate, I know about 5 phrases in French. And I just roll them out every time.
So we ended up on a massive 78.1.
Huge. Yeah, we were set up ready for you because you told a big game.
So
yeah,
Karim,
watch him
if
drop a ton tomorrow.
If he hits 100, would we be top scorer?
178, sure. Is that top score? To be honest, my old sheet is on my old laptop that's now bust, so I'm going to have to start another one.
Oh, no, that means none of them count.
Ironically, it's bust.
Hey, that's funny darts banter. Good work, Mark. Good work, Mark.
Mark the nuke. Right, and then...
I'm going full Luke Littler this week.
Laird went with Sebastian Coates, or Coates, depending on how you pronounce it. Coates. Adnan and Del Castillo.
You're struggling. That tequila's gone to your head, hasn't it?
Is it not Adnan? Is he not got any?
No, it's Adan.
I don't give a fuck, mate.
Hey! Funny that's genuinely the funniest thing you've said this year. Genuinely.
Hey, we're only 14 days in, I'll take that. Sebastian Coates, or whatever
it's Coates, not if and or but. It's Coates.
You know what people are like. Got a 6.2.
Wow.
What did he do? Did he get sent off?
Not much, to be honest. I think he must have had a stinker.
He's going back to the Liverpool days.
He used to stink.
Adan 63.3 and Del Castillo got a 64.7 as well. So Coates let him down massively when he scored a very average 134.2.
Coates came off the bench and got minus 18.8 AA.
Is that?
Any of the other 3 defenders, Quaresma got 50, Rice got 57, and Inacio got 85.6. And
well, he finished 55 points off a perfect score. No, 45 points off a perfect score.
Oh, so he would have gone bust with those anyway.
I think he'd have gone bust on them all anyway, yeah.
That's not too
So, Quinny, have you had a thought about what you're doing, or are you just going to wing it?
I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that none of them play Monday now. That's the only thing I'm just double checking.
You don't want to get rinsed by these lot.
Literally, you wouldn't be the first, so we can do ours first if you want.
No, I'm sorted. I'll give you
go
my
on then. Go on then, Quinny.
Let's go.
Right, so first one I'm going with is Danny Parejo, who is home to Mallorca. So he's hopefully going to scoop in like a 70 or 80, something like that, with a wee decisive and the AA picks up. I'm going to be playing as well Enes Unal, who I think might start the game, might come off the bench. He's just coming back from injury. Yeah, for Getafe. But either way, I think he's going to get 70 points, whether it's from the bench or from the start. And then for the last one, I just want a guy that's just going to turn up. And I've went with Sergio Camelo. And yeah, I just need him to not put me over 180.
You've picked a goal-scoring machine, mate.
This is the first time in making double-double history.
We got the same player.
The same player. Because because Cameo was going to be my pick because they have they play someone at
Las
home
Palmas.
mid-table. Las Palmas, that's it. They've got Las Palmas
Yeah.
at home, so I've got the full stack sat up ready to go against Las Palmas.
Love
And
that.
Camelo was my pick. So
Plus, he
'cause
had a
should
good outing
start,
last time,
should
didn't he?
start. He did. He got a brace in his last game, so
Yeah.
hopefully they need a goal scorer. So yeah, but he better fucking start now because if RTD plays, they just won't score. So well, so that's my pick done already, lads.
Love that. I'm going with an ex-Burnley boy who we
Shock.
sold to Coventry. Good, solid, strong defender. I love him. I wish we never sold him. Bobby Thomas.
Never heard of him.
Big Bobby
So
Tom.
how many points are you going to get, Adam?
Bobby Thomas going to bring in about a 6-day clean sheet away at Sheff Wednesday.
Right, and Aaron, how many is yours going to get?
If Camelo scores, he's not much of an AA player, so he'll get 65 at most, unless he gets a brace, and obviously it goes up. But I'm saying we're on about 120, 130 at this point.
So I need someone that's like 50, 55?
I think so.
That would be correct.
Quick maths.
Right, okay. No beating around the bush this week. No lengthy.
Do you know what? Actually, what I've noticed, what I've noticed from listening to you speak is that that's just how you speak. Yeah. You were talking when you were telling us about your fucking drinks earlier, and you did.
We're looking at each other like he's off here. He's gone.
You did 3 laps around Tesco looking for those cocktails.
Man.
Come on, give us some insight on why you're picking him and who he is.
Yeah, I want description this time. Talk me through it.
Oh, fuck you. Joachim Anderson.
Who?
Joachim Anderson.
Who's that?
Joachim Anderson.
Oh, Joachim Anderson.
Yeah,
He's back. He's back.
He's back, the most handsome man in the world.
So away at Arsenal, they'll concede, but he'll get half decent AA.
Yeah,
nice. I like that. There's not many Prem games on next week, is there?
No, it's winter break.
It's the split in it, so there's 5.
Yeah.
Not 5. Is it 5 and then 5 week after?
Yeah. Because I've got 2 dog shit scores in the winter special, and I'm still on for a tenner. So
cool.
proper average scores. I've got a DMP. I've got 290 points with my Burnley team, and I'm still on for some money. So I won't turn my nose.
Is this the last weekend of it?
I think so. Or there might be because it's half this week, half next week. Yeah.
I feel like as a question we do need to ask, seeing as though your own podcast is called End Product, is there any end product this week? Got to find out if we're getting any end product this weekend.
No, mate. Just literally right before we came on, I had my last couple of teams running, and Werner was my last card. But before he played, I had Girona and Bologna play today, and the cards I had in those matches kind of let me down for my last kind of hope. John McGinn, nothing today. It cost me threshold. I'm on 313 out of the 330 required, so 17 points behind. McGinn, my captain, on 39 points.
Garcia got sent off today for Girona, didn't he, as well? Who's normally
Alex?
He was no.
Yeah, so he's normally a big scorer, isn't he? And I saw that he got sent off today. That'll have fucked a lot of people. He's been class this season. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got 34. With a sending off's not actually that bad, actually, but yeah, so that'll have screwed a fair few people. Will that? Oh, I was hoping I'm only getting a tier 3 and a tier 4 super rare this week, kind of like, it's very rare we get someone on that plays in those competitions.
It's fine margins in all the comps, you know. It's all the same. Like, I've got a bit of a group chat with people that are in like the member section on my channel, and it's the same stuff every weekend. People are waking up on Saturday morning, maybe they've had a wee head start on a Friday, you know, and they're feeling good, and it's like, oh, I can't wait for all the Saturday games to kick off. And
beat the Friday curse.
Yeah, some people go on, some people teams fall off on the Saturday, and it's the same again on Sunday. It's like, oh, I've got 4 guys ran, 1 guy's going today, or you know, they're just stacked up towards the end of the game week, and and it's all limiteds for the most part. What I'm talking about, you know, or rares. Everyone's like, and I think that's probably part of the thing with rivals as well, because especially like, didn't really talk about it as much in the pod compared to like earlier on, but like you guys were telling me at the beginning, like with the Huddersfield Plymouth game, obviously as I mentioned, that you get matched up. But like with the rivals part of it, like if you and your mates are like just like engaging in a game, there's a good chance, like if it is one of those kind of quieter ones that you can kind of pick up on it. Because I think like a lot of people do think they're not in touch with the leaderboard that often. Some people are, but sometimes you're dead by Saturday, sometimes you're dead by Sunday, and ultimately if your team's done, it doesn't matter when it gets done, you're still ending up with
Yeah.
nothing, so having that like on Sunday night, like, oh, let's watch the whatever
There's
game, let's watch
something
Man U
on.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
And you can be engaged. You can touch something again in terms of winning this weekend. And out with
I
something.
nearly forgot that obviously it's just done immediately after the game. Like there's no opt, nothing like that. Because when I was putting my Burnley players out on Friday, I was like, we like got that many injuries, and then Berge was ill, so I was like, I don't know who to put in, and I nearly put in Kabore for Luton because I've got his limited card and he plays for Burkina Faso on Tuesday. So I nearly put him in, and I was like, hang on, he'll just get a fucking DMP because he's not playing. So I nearly forgot the rules of the game, but I got beat anyway, so don't fucking matter. Shite.
Well, I don't know what's happened, but when I picked my lineup for the Ghana game, Inaki Williams was starting, and now he's on a 0.
Oh,
So
I hate
I might
that.
I might have to use that substitution shit that you can do. How do you do that? Make a substitution.
but you can only sub in for a player who's not come on.
Yeah, I know, but if was starting and now he's not, surely he's not playing at all.
He pulled out with an injury. Yeah, maybe.
Let me have a look. Surely there's something.
I'm pretty sure that happened to me yesterday for the Chelsea match, because I picked a team like 5 minutes before kickoff or something, or 10 minutes before kickoff, and it said that Nicholas Jackson was starting, so I put him in the team, and then when it kicked off, I realised that he wasn't even in the squad.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
you know what? He was always on the bench, but he
Oh.
said starting when I picked him.
Yeah.
How weird.
Oh, is that SofaScore, or was it saying starting on Sorare?
Starting on Sorare.
The SofaScore are a nightmare for that. I don't know if you've ever used SofaScore notifications. They're mainly good, but sometimes you'll get one, because I think with all these apps, the thing is getting the news out first. So you get a push notification, and it's like the Tottenham team's out and Romero's in it, and you're like, oh, cool, my guy's in. And then
because
like, you forget about it, and then you go and check the game, and you're like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I got a notification saying he was playing. Just like
because you'll sometimes see when they put the lineup out, the lineup's right, but the formation is fucking miles off it.
Shocking,
Like I've seen it before where it's like, oh, Burnley are playing a 3-5-2. And I'm like, we've never played a 3-5-2. It's Sean Dyche, it's 4-4-2. And then like when it gets closer to the lineup and they've already got the news out, then they'll change the formation so that it's actually right. But yeah, I've noticed about people trying to just get it right as well. I like Foot Mob Me. That's
Foot Mob's good.
That's my one.
The one thing I want to see on Rivals is like be able to create your own like league or something, or for a game be able to create your own leaderboard. So like you can say, oh, we're all going to play United Tottenham, everyone jump in, and then it just does your guys that you've invited into that division. Because can you imagine like on the night of Sorare Sevens when we're all in the bar, if there's a game on, we could all get everyone to jump into Rivals. Whoever wins, we can put up a signed shirt or a shirt or something, or
that'd be
a
sick.
Prize for whoever wins that in the bar. That'd be sick, wouldn't it?
Fuck that off. There's loads of people coming with like super rares and shit. I'm not going up against those guys.
Because we'd end up doing one.
We could make it like common only, surely.
It'd just be McBride sat there with his bloody uniques and super rares.
with a suitcase full of signed shirts next to him because he's just winning every fucking game.
Oh, funny. Well, boys, anything else?
I was just going to ask Quinny if is he going to? Are you being at Sorare Sevens in Falkirk?
Very, very likely I'll be there. Very, very likely. I can't obviously promise it now because I can't think that far ahead mentally. I've just not got the capacity for it in this day and age, to be honest with you. But I don't see any reason I won't be there, So
nice.
For it. It's the same as last time. Mark will tell you. It was the same story last year with me. I was like, I'm almost certain I'll be there, mate, but I'll be really close to before we get there, but I can promise you that,
It's a nice surprise for the day. We can hope you come in and then, oh, he's here. Ooh.
No, before that. So it's just, with Falkirk is different. It's just up the road from me. But with that, it was like having an excursion down country and stuff like that, and kids in a car and missus and all that.
That was class.
Extended your family holiday, didn't you, by a day?
Yeah, I definitely well enjoyed it. Got a nice wee place close to the thing. It was like, it was cheap enough and everything was great. I had a great time, honestly. Sevens, I don't think Sevens got enough kind of like obviously everyone who went there had a great time, if you know what I mean, but it's such a shame. I don't think so many people everyone that wasn't there doesn't get how good a time it was, and like it was a proper, like it was a great day, great weather as well. Everyone had a good
Oh,
time.
it was fucking
Changing
hell. It
rooms were
was so
class. The
warm.
food was good. The
Yeah.
club were cool with us as well, weren't they? And
Yeah, they were
then
class.
all the stuff that was on was good crack. Everyone was brilliant.
I mean,
Well,
we
for
said, didn't we,
those,
that we got let down with train strikes, we got let down with all
Yeah.
sorts of different stuff. Like
yeah,
it was so well planned. Everything was going to peak. Like we were like, oh, tickets are selling
yeah,
great. We got up to like 75% tickets sold, and then all of a sudden it were train strike, train
train
strike, train
strikes.
strike.
Yeah.
People, I can't make it. Can I get a refund for my ticket? Can I get it? And you were like, oh, this has just caused such
And
a
then
shit scenario.
on top of that, we got fucked at customs. So we nearly
Oh,
never
yeah.
even got like
Yeah.
the giveaway stuff. Mark had to drive to fucking Swindon on the day
Yeah,
to
on the
pick them up
morning.
at customs. I was like emailing FedEx like the week before with the piss arsiest emails you've ever seen, just being the most aggressive little prick in the world. But it all came together. And for those that don't know, not only did Quinny like extend his family holiday like and rearrange things to come down, he brought all his podcast stuff and did a live podcast for us on the day. So like it's not like he just like came on a whim. Like you were all in, mate. Like that was very
He
much
even got his rat
appreciated.
out for us.
Yeah,
The rat was good
This-
crack.
The rat.
I can't remember who it was. I was playing. I was reffing one of the games, or I was sorting something out on the sidelines, and some lad came up to me and went, I can't remember who it was now, and said, I saw Quinny in the car park earlier. It's like having a mini celebrity here. I watch all his YouTube videos.
Aye, it's pure. That's a weird kind of part of all this. It's just like that being a thing. You know, it's crazy. But like,
Well, not that we've reached the kind of people that you have yet, because we're nowhere near that kind of viewership. But I remember last year when
We've got
I don't
64 subscribers on YouTube.
hey, we only released one on Friday, and it's hit 250 views across platforms. That's quite good for us.
Very true. Very true.
But I found it weird that I had people coming up to me who knew me from Twitter, but I didn't
Just
have a
from
clue
Twitter.
they were. And they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm so and so on Twitter," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, because you've got like most Sorare users might have a card as the photo or a footballer as the photo and that, but I just had one of me and the missus, and they'd come up and be like, "Yo," and I have like Azzy Mac as my name on Twitter. "You're Azzy Mac, aren't you?" And I was like, "This is so fucking weird." I'm like, "Why?" I have no idea who you are. So this year is probably going to be even worse for us when we like get there and it's
Like, yeah, I get
people
that
are going
quite
to
a lot
see
as
us
well.
faces.
I get people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you're that
You're
guy that called me a
Frodo.
cunt on. You're that guy that called me a cunt on Twitter." That's. I'm like, sorry, mate. You'll have to narrow it down.
that's the fun of Twitter, isn't it? I suppose. It's just,
I love it. I love it. The thing is, like, if I've called you that on Twitter, I'll call it to your face. Like, it's no bother. Like, it's absolutely no bother.
And someone will knee you in the face because that's about the height you are compared to them.
As long as they don't face me in the knee, I'd much prefer being kneed in the face, to be honest. Oh, funny. Well, boys, is that time to call it a day there, do you think?
I believe so.
Anything?
Unless anyone
Yeah?
else they want to put in.
No, nothing else for me.
No, just thanks, Quinny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks again,
pleasure's
Quinny.
mine.
It's nice that we finally managed to get it done.
It's a decent amount of tequila on a
been-
Sunday night.
That's
Done
too
well,
much tequila on a Sunday. It's we've wanted you on for a while, so it's nice that we've managed to organise it and that you're back to peak fitness to get on with us. So
That's been an absolute pleasure. I say long overdue, and really thanks for having me on. It's been brilliant, and I'm sure the YouTube channel will be up and smashing numbers no time at all.
And
So keep up
hopefully
the uploads.
we'll see you in April.
No, for sure. Yeah, almost certain. Just don't make me. I don't feel comfortable with promises because
No, we won't make you promise, don't we? Cool.
I'll be there,
well,
I'll be there.
I'll speak to you all later then, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Bye.
Wait.